ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. 3 couples, 4 vacations, a lot to unpack. Watch The 4 Seasons, a new series starring comedy favorites Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, and more in a hilarious and heartfelt love letter to long-term relationships. Based on the original Alan Alda film. Watch The 4 Seasons, May 1st, only on Netflix.
Shopping is hard.
I can never find anything in my size.
I don't even know my size.
I buy my clothes the same place I buy my groceries.
There's a better way. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, budget, and done. Your personal stylist sends pieces picked just for you.
That was easy.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone. Free shipping and returns. No subscription required. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network, and you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/@RamsUpPodcast. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined often by my football guru, Ian, along with a bunch of other friends of the show on occasion. Let's get to it. Hey, what's going on, Ram fans? Another episode here. Trying to keep you entertained until we get to that schedule release. That's going to be the next big thing that happens across the NFL, at least as far as we know. A few things before we move on. The NBA draft lottery. Cooper Flag headed to Dallas. Now the conspiracy theorists are already out there. Hey, Lakers, you're going to get Luka. Mavericks, take care of them. Take care of the Lakers for us. And wink, wink, the Mavericks, you're going to end up with Cooper Flag, the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Not saying that's how it went down, but a little suspicious. And, you know, we had an episode just a day or two ago predicting who was going to be playing the Eagles in that Thursday night opener. And it's going to be the Cowboys. I'm sure y'all heard about it. I still think the Rams are going to play Atlanta before they go to London, a road game at Atlanta before they head to London to play the Jags. And their opener, my prediction, one of those 2 Southern teams, the Titans or the Panthers. That's what I'm going with here. Now, what else do I have to talk about here? Man, this is going to get some folks going. John Capitorto, one of the friends of the show, sent this to me. For those of you listening on the podcast, I'm sharing a graphic here from Fox NFL. Best quarterback and head coach duo in the league. And who are the candidates? Well, we got the Eagles. Yeah, I get that. The Chiefs, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. The Ravens, Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. And then the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, the quarterback there. And then the Lions, yeah, I guess, Dan Campbell, Jared Goff. They slip in there, I guess. And then the Bengals, Zach Taylor and Cincinnati Bengals. And then, of course, no, there are no Rams. The Rams are not listed here. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, not one of the options here. You can select other. That's what I'm going with, other. bordering on disrespectful. Actually, it's pretty comical. I think Fox NFL is losing some street cred here, not including Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay as one of the best head coach and quarterback duos in the league. What were they thinking? Before I get started on this episode, I wanted to talk about some comments made by Colin Cowherd. Sometimes he and his guests are very insightful, and he provided me and maybe Rams fans with a wake-up call. He might be onto something, and this was the point Colin Cowherd was making. Our inclination is, and my inclination even now still is, the Rams should find a way to draft one of those top quarterbacks in next year's draft. And Colin Cowherd made the point that, maybe the Rams should just go out and find two great players to help support Matthew Stafford to continue to improve this roster. And the point he made, well, 2 points he made is one, Stafford seems to be up there in years, but look at what Tom Brady did at that age and moving forward, and look what happened to the Patriots after they moved on from Tom Brady. And the other point he made was, a lot of teams chase quarterbacks trying to secure the future of their franchise, and that's the mode I've been stuck in. I think we need to find the next great quarterback. And a lot of teams have done that, and at first you might consider, it a success. The Chargers drafting, for example, Justin Herbert, the Ravens drafting Lamar Jackson, the Bills drafting Josh Allen, the Bengals drafting Joe Burrow. But let's consider how many Super Bowls have they won? How many Super Bowls have they appeared in? Well, actually, of those guys I listed, Joe Burrow, he's the only one. And who did he lose to? That's right, Matthew Stafford. And Colin Cowherd making the case, and some would probably disagree with this, fair enough, that Stafford is still better than any of them, especially when it comes to playoff time. Now, I'm not necessarily 100% agreeing with Colin Cowherd, but something we need to think about, maybe pump the brakes on go draft that great quarterback. I still think that's what McVay wants to do. I think he's hinted that that is what he wants to do. But you could make an argument, Matthew Stafford, if he plays well in 2025, let's not reset at the quarterback position. Let's go get a left tackle and a cornerback, for example, a great wide receiver, whatever this franchise needs now, rather than worrying about the future of the franchise. Win now, baby. Win now. And maybe winning now in 2026, anyways, is keeping Matthew Stafford and replenishing this roster, continue to improve it, and go get what could be 2 Super Bowls in a row. As we sit here today, we don't know. Rams are certainly well positioned, at almost as any team, to go pursue the trophy this year. And by the way, Colin Cowherd thinks the Rams are going to run this division in 2025. He's an LA guy, at least now he is. Used to be a Seattle guy, I think. And he certainly has a lot of good things to say about McVay, Kroenke, Matthew Stafford. And fair enough, it's well-deserved. The Rams are pointing in the right direction. And I think I've been guilty of just over-focusing on drafting that quarterback next year. Hey, maybe that can wait another year. Let's go get a Super Bowl in 2026 and not worry about drafting a guy that's going to replace Stafford in 2027. Let's get some guys that are going to help him now being 2026, of course. So it is episode 735 on the podcast. And I'm going to share another player who wore number 35. Last time we did Aeneas Williams. I don't know if that was 100 or 200 episodes ago. This episode, I'm going to talk about an underrated defensive back. I was going to say another, and I had Toby Wright on my mind, and Keith Lyle and Toby Wright played together for a bit. And Keith Lyle, drafted in the third round in 1994 out of the University of Virginia. And he had a nice career, was with the Rams for 1 year, and then moved on with the Rams. I should say he was with the Rams in Los Angeles for 1 year, and then he moved with the team to St. Louis. He was drafted the same year as Isaac Bruce and Toby Wright, by the way. So he played for the Rams from 1994 through 2000. So yes, he did win a Super Bowl championship. Finished his Rams career with 28 interceptions. That's fifth on the Rams all-time list. And from 1995 to 1998, Lyle intercepted 23 passes, the most in the NFL during that period. And he tied with the lead in interceptions in 1996, along with Tyrone Braxton of the Broncos. So Keith Lyle, I thought paired up with Toby Wright. This is before the Greatest Show on Turf. Wright was gone by then. But in those years preceding the Greatest Show on Turf, they were two. That was a great safety combination. It was just, there had some teams there that struggled, but pretty good group there in the back end. And he was one of the few Rams, I was trying to figure it out by looking at the Rams 1994 roster, guys that were with the Rams in Los Angeles and won a Super Bowl at the end of that 1999 season, Lyle being one of them, Todd Light being another, and of course Isaac Bruce. But Keith Lyle, number 35, defensive back, mainly a free safety. Toby Wright, man, he was the big hitter on that in that pair, and he was the strong safety. But he's our number 35 for the Los Angeles and St. Louis Rams, to be 100% accurate.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
At Sephora, we've got what you want because you're obsessed with your skin, and we're obsessed with what it needs. Sephora has the best products to help you get beautiful, glowing, radiant skin. With an extensive, inclusive range of results-driven formulas and in-store beauty advisors to help you find exactly which are right for you, the best skincare is only at Sephora. Sephora, for all your skincare.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
My name is Lily, and I've had hidradenitis suppurativa, HS, for years. I finally found some relief since taking Cosentyx. Relief means I can show up more.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe hidradenitis suppurativa, HS. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
Hey, the other day we talked about the wide receiver groups in the NFC West. I wanted to spend some time dropping in on the running back rooms for the 49ers, Cardinals, and Seahawks, and the Rams, see how they all stack up against each other. And let's start with the 49ers now. Christian McCaffrey, it's all about him, right? Well, maybe not. We know he's a special running back. When he's healthy, he might be the absolute best in the National Football League. Always has those health issues, though. Can he stay healthy? But I think Kyle Shanahan has done a good job of adding some bodies to this group. And Isaac Guerendo last year looked really good. His stats on the year last year: 84 carries for 420 yards and 4 TDs, a 5.0 average. Now, he's no Christian McCaffrey, but if he's your backup plan, I think you're in a good place. Jordan James, drafted this year, physical running back out of Oregon. They picked him up in the 5th round, which is about where he should have been drafted, I think. 5'10", 210 pounds. Just a physical running style that he'll bring to the table. So overall, I think, you can do a lot worse than McCaffrey. It's all about the health, but I think Guerendo is a good security blanket there for the 49ers. Arizona running backs, James Conner, he's very good, often overlooked. He is the senior statesman in this group, though, 30 years old, and he had over 1,000 yards rushing last year, 8 TDs, and he has some fumbling issues too. He fumbled 4 times. And then they have Trey Benson, 63 carries for 291 yards and 1 TD. He was a rookie last year, drafted about, I think, 2017 picks or so before Blake Corum. And he's very similar to Blake Corum as far as what we know about him. A lot of promise, but I think the Arizona Cardinals faithful are hopeful he could be the heir apparent to James Conner. But Blake Corum, I think, flashed a little bit better than Benson. But I didn't sit there and watch Arizona Cardinal games all year long like I did the Rams. So maybe the Cardinals feel pretty good about him. And then there's Amari DeMarcado, has been there a little bit, and he's entering his 3rd year. Doesn't see a lot of action. So this might be the weakest running back room in the division, only because Conner is 30 years old. And, hopefully he won't fall off a cliff this year, but you get north of 30 wide receivers, running backs. Sometimes they just don't have the juice anymore. And I remember he did get banged up in that season, that game against the Rams that the Rams pulled out. I think he had 4 carries before he pulled himself out of the game. The old Pittsburgh Panther running back, James Conner, very good running back. But I think when you compare him to McCaffrey and Kyren Williams, maybe a notch below those 2 guys, in my opinion. Now you get to the Seattle running backs, and I really like their running back room. Kenneth Walker III is the default starter, and he's reliable but not real flashy. The times I've seen him, he's just kind of a standard workhorse running back. He had 5 100-yard rushing games in his rookie year, and in the ensuing 2 seasons, 1 100-yard game in each. And that may have been, at least the last 2 years, due to the arrival of Zach Charbonnet, who I really like, out of UCLA. He was a guy a lot of Ram fans were hoping the Rams would draft. Seattle seems to draft a lot of guys I like. Maybe they watch this YouTube channel. But Charbonnet last year, 135 carries, 569 yards, and 8 TDs. And he's just a complete back. I like Charbonnet, and maybe he's the better back at this point. And then Damian Martinez, another guy, Ian talked about him as a guy the Rams could potentially pick in the 3rd round. Seattle drafted him in round 7. He's a powerful, decisive back out of the University of Miami. So he played with Cam Ward and Isaiah Arroyo. Very, very promising young back. They got good value there. But the one I like in this group the most is Charbonnet. It's a really solid group, though. Again, we don't know if Martinez is the real deal, what he brings, but very promising. And then you have the Rams, Kyren Williams. This is a Rams YouTube channel, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time telling you about our running backs. I think you all know already. Kyron Williams is just an excellent back. Lacks the breakaway speed, fumbles a little bit more than we'd like, but man, has a nose for the end zone, picks up those extra yards for the first downs. Just a really good running back, a high character guy too. And then there's Blake Corum, kind of like Trey Benson. You look at the stats, he didn't really get a lot of action, had a couple big runs that got called back. He looked like he's good for the part, but we just need to see more of it. And then there's Jarquez Hunter, kind of put him in the category of Damian Martinez. Yeah, sure, draft profile suggests he is going to be a contributor, but until we see it, what do we really know? That's always the case. So how do I feel about these running back rooms altogether? Are the 49ers, they all in on McCaffrey again? And this is a dilemma. Isaac Guerrero, fine running back for sure, but how much does that change the offense if they have to go to him as their number one? It's going to take a little bit of pizzazz out of their offense for sure. So McCaffrey, if McCaffrey stays healthy, but you always have that in the back of your mind every game, is that going to be the game? His hamstrings act up or his Achilles? Just always seems to be something with him. And it's a shame because he really is, a generational talent at that position, just cannot stay healthy. For Seattle, if I'm a Seahawks fan, I want to see Zach Charbonnet get more snaps than Kenneth Walker. I think it's time for that. I think he brings more to the table. It's a perfect situation, or, alternating, two-headed monster, splitting the snaps at a minimum, get Zach Charbonnet more on the field more is what I would be asking for. And then with Arizona, can James Conner keep it rolling? Because after that, Trey Benson, unproven, and then DeMarcado, yeah, I don't know. There's some other guys on the depth chart, but it's all about James Conner. And Arizona has invested a lot in their defense. So they're maybe neglected the offense a little bit in this past draft. I think it was, 7 out of 8 guys were on defense, something like that. I talked about that once before. But if James Conner can keep it rolling and stay healthy, that's what they got to be hoping for. Otherwise, we're going to find out a lot about Trey Benson. And then with the Rams, this is the way I see it. Okay, they draft Jarquez Hunter, and past seasons have suggested he's not going to be part of the equation his rookie season. Maybe we'll see him in spot duty here and there. He'll be out there for kneel downs, perhaps. Blake Corum, we'd expect his load to increase, but it's going to be Kyron Williams until there's ball security issues. If they become evident again, if he has a fumble or two early in this season, Blake Corum's going to get a shot, is what I think is going to happen. But that's how these running back rooms stack up. You look at the top end, McCaffrey is a Zach Charbonnet or Kenneth Walker, and then you got James Conner and Kyron Williams. Everything considered, who would you take if you're going to make a Super Bowl run? You're probably going to roll with Kyron Williams just because of the concern about McCaffrey's health. James Conner, same thing, in his age. And, Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, neither of them are at that level, both solid running backs. Depth-wise, I might go with Seattle, but her Rams group is pretty good too. We'll just have to see how that plays out, or hopefully we won't see how that plays out depth-wise. But that is my take on the NFC West running back rooms as of today, here in mid-May, out here from Rams Up.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.